Picking up from where we left off last, let's talk about flow maps, the next kind of map we're going to talk about. A flow map is probably something you've seen before. I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. And it is used for sequence, for time order, processing, how-to, steps, cycles, and there may be more things that we add to this list later as the semester continues. Let's look at some examples. Again, I'm pretty sure you have seen some of these. So let's start. Well, these are sequence of events things. So if I were going to do a map about my dream day, I would need to start this first box here with something that happened early in the day, like maybe I slept late. The second box is going to happen after that or in the middle of the day, out to lunch with my friends. And then the last box here that I put in, if there's only 3 boxes, would be something that happened at the end of the day, like a movie night or game night. The rule with this map is that the arrows need to go in that direction, but also that you have to include a title. And that's because otherwise it makes it really difficult to understand or use the map later. I'm going to show you an example. Let's do a map about how to make pasta. Now, generally, it's better to make these maps by first writing the words and then drawing the box around them. So I'm going to start with filling a pot of salted water. And you can see that I did not just type that all out in one line because it's much easier visually if I can, to read later, if I can draw a box around it. And if my box is not a big, long rectangle, instead it looks more like a square, or shaped more evenly like a square, then it's going to actually help us later. So step 1, I'm going to fill a pot of water with salted water. Then I draw my arrow and I do the next step, which would be to wait for it to boil. I draw my words, I draw my box, I draw my arrow. Next, I'm going to wait till it's al dente, or just the right amount of softness, hardness, and then I'm going to drain it. So when it's al dente, I'll drain it. I write my words kind of on top of each other. I write my box. I am out of space in my brackets in my little area where I'm writing. So the way to handle that is to continue, because I'm not done with my steps. So you continue it by drawing the arrow and then picking up the arrow on the next line to show that the next line is not the start of a new map, but it's a continuation. This visually is easier for you to use later when you're doing this with college level textbooks. Finally, I'm going to add my favorite sauce. And that's my last step. So I don't have any more arrows to do. I only have one more thing to do to make this map complete though. Remember the all-important title. If I don't have a title, it's going to be harder for me to make use of it later. In this case, my title, How to Make Pasta. Here's another example, and I'm sure that you have seen these before, but for our class, I want you to make sure that you have a title, like this one does, and that when you run out of space, you continue your arrows as if it's the same way we do when we read. I'll pick you up for the next part on another video.